First and foremost, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Yahweh to this world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai to this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'Shem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Quadash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. Also to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. In today's video, I wanted to go into the Rfid microchip. Okay, the mark of the beast is the Rfid microchip. And this video is inspired by, something I saw today. I was at Walmart in the auto section, and I look out the window and I see a Walmart worker, moving some packages. And on one of the packages, it just said, big bold letters, RFID. And, I look at that, I'm like, what are the odds that, out of all the boxes, none of them have any names, but the one that does have, a title is RFID. So I looked at that as, the Spirit, the Lord telling me, hey, we got to push the RFID microchip harder, right? We got to go into this more because, this is this is pretty much the biggest prophecy, right next to the nuclear destruction. Hey, this is the next prophecy to happen. So you got to stay on point, because if you don't know what it is in that day, you're going to get caught lacking. So Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right? So part of that hour of temptation is that chip, right? It's a temptation to take it, because it's going to be essentially take the chip and stay part of the society, this economy, be able to buy and sell, okay, do, your normal activities, or don't take it at all and be completely unplugged from everything. And the elect are going to do just that. Okay, the elect, as it says, are going to be kept, are going to be protected from the hour of temptation. And it says in Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Right, so that's what's coming, is that the Israelites are not going to rely upon those that have beat us up going into this government, these nations. Okay, we're going to rely upon Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai for everything. It says, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty God. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption degree shall overflow with righteousness. Right, so at the end of the day, this is all about the elect. Okay, the remnant, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel that is going to be delivered. So, hey, going into that chip, and just off that, you can understand that the masses are going to take the chip. And part of the reasons is verse 14, it says, verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. Right, when it's going into a beast, okay, the beast is dealing with the ancient Roman Empire. Right, what happened to the ancient Roman Empire? It had a wound. Okay, it fell. But when you read above, in verse 12, it says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Right, so the ancient Roman Empire, even though it fell, guess what? That wound was healed because it came back by the way of America. Okay, America is the reborn Roman Empire. That is that wound being healed. So when it goes into verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword, and did live. Right, so if you don't make an image to the beast, which goes into bow down to their image, which the image goes into their plans, their NWO, 20, 30, 15-minute smart cities, getting everybody chipped up. If you don't bow down to that, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right, so if you don't follow their plans, they're going to put you to death. Straight to the point. And one key thing that I wanted to get about those scriptures is it says that these people are going to be deceived by the miracles that are going to be performed. And that's exactly, what we're seeing right now. Neuralink is pretty much the mark of the beast, the mark in the head. Now, the reason I say pretty much is because it hasn't been tied into the economy yet. It hasn't been tied to, to your ID. But that's exactly how they're going to do it. Okay, the brain chip interface, BCI. So, Neuralink, the chip in the head, they're talking about how it's going to make paraplegic people able to walk again, the blind able to see again, the deaf able to hear again. The first patient that got the Neuralink, he talks about how he can scroll the internet and play video games for 12 hours straight, just through his mind. Right? So those are the part of the miracles that are going to deceive the masses, because it's going to be pushed towards you by the means of convenience, by the means of salvation. Oh, take the chip, it's going to help you with everything. But guess what? If you take it, you are slated for destruction, right? You have no chance for salvation. So Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? So if you don't take that chip, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. And everybody is going to have that temptation. Everybody is going to be tested on that, because that is going to be the new form of payment, the new form of identification. The new form of everything is going to be that chip. So let's read what happens if you take it. Revelation chapter 18. It's actually Revelation chapter 14. And verse 10 or 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Right? So you're going to catch that destruction if you take that chip. Okay, you're going to catch a nuclear missile, and you're going to catch Yahweh Shai and the angels bringing straight judgment. So, hopefully, this was a warning, edifying, and straight to the point. But with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.